Hey guys, how you doing today? I wanted to show you my dahlias. I know I can't get them all on screen, they are way too tall. What I want to do is I'm going to show you guys how I cut my dahlias in order to get more blooms, because what will happen is, I'm not seeing any buds on them yet, but what will happen is if I don't cut this, it will make 2 or 3 blooms, and then what will happen is they'll all be bunched in together. And if I cut this right here, what will happen is 2 more branches will come out. Let me move my camera again. When I cut right here, 2 more branches will come out from here, and it will produce more flowers and they won't be so tight together. But also what I want to do, since this is such a big cutting, now normally you want to do this when your dahlias are about 12 to 18 inches tall. Mine's right about right there. But what I'm going to try to do is at this node, once I cut it here, which I'm going to show you that right now, you just want to take and cut at a diagonal. Cut at a diagonal right here. Cut that. And now 2 more branches will come out where I made that cut. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this on all of them that are branching out like that. But what I want to show you first is you can propagate this from this node. There's 2 different ways to propagate these guys. So what you want to do is, you've made your cut. Here's your node right here. You want to cut that off, cut it at a diagonal, and then you want to cut off these 2 bottom leaves. Now you can pinch them off. These are no good, they're trash. And then what you want to do, even though these aren't very big leaves, is you want to cut, well, I think what I'm going to do, these aren't completely open. I want to cut off as much leaves as I can, because there's no roots, there's no way for the plant to feed these leaves, and it will work on rooting. I'm going to cut that just a little closer. And then what you want to do is take your rooting hormone, dab it in there, stick it down. Now I'm going to use corners to do this. You want to make sure you've got that node under the soil. And then I'm going to take another cutting. I'm going to cut this guy, because there's your V, and you want it to make more flowers. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. I'm going to cut right below the node. I'm going to cut these leaves off. Use my rooting hormone and stick it down here in a corner. I can get 2 more cuttings in here. So I'm going to, this one's not big enough yet. This one is just about the right. So cut that middle part off of the V. Oops. Once again, there's not a whole lot of leaves on here. So I am going to Use my rooting hormone. Stick that down in the soil. Tap it down. You want to make sure that it's above the leaves, so your leaves don't rot. And then on this plant, what I'd like to do is let me see what I'm looking for here. Alright, I'm not seeing it on that plant. Let's get another plant. This is another one of my dahlias. And I want to do the same thing with her, because she is really full. And then I'm hoping, yeah, I think I see one down there. Okay, so let's do this cut. You want to get your V, where your V pops up. Let me get closer here so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay, you want to find your V, and right here is where you would want to cut to get more stems to come out. So I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to use this one for propagation. I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to cut these leaves off, as many as I can. Because you want your plant to focus on growing roots. If she was a little more opened up there, I don't know, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut those off, because she's got enough leaves up here. And I'm going to dip my rooting hormone and then stick it down here in the corner. So there I've got 4 new starts. And then I'm just going to go along and I'm going to do that to the whole plant. I'm just going to trim out everything that needs it. Cut that off. Cut down by the node. Rooting hormone down into the corner. See what else here. You want to do it before they get super tall and start making buds. So here's another one. I'm going to cut that. Then I'm going to do the same. Cut those leaves off. Some rooting hormone and down into the corner. And then here's another one. This isn't going to be propagatable, but I'm going to cut her. Propagatable. Cut that one. That one's will make good propagation. Let's see, do I have any more? Yep, here's another one. This one is really bushy. This one, I think I had a big ball of it in there. Big root mass. Okay, so there I've got four more propagations. And I'll get those watered down. Now what I'd like to do is down here, see if I can find one. Okay, now I got another dahlia. I already trimmed off her top, but what I want to do here is you can also take cuttings from down at the tuber, but what you want to do is you want to take a piece of the tuber with you. You need to have a really sharp knife to do this. And be careful and don't cut your fingers off. But you want to get a piece of the tuber okay, my knife ain't sharp enough. Get down here with my there. Now I got a little tiny piece of the tuber. And then what you want to do is you want to cut them bottom leaves off. And then you want to cut, oops, sorry. You want to cut off all your big leaves. You want to cut them in half. And I think when I take these out of the pots, I'll be able to see a little bit better. So there's a part of the tuber. Cut your bottom leaves off, and all you want to leave is that. So your piece will look like that with a little bit of the tuber on it. Now I need to get another pot. Okay, now I have 3 more cuttings here. These are the 2 that I cut off. I'm going to cut those leaves off. Cut down here to the node. Rooting hormone. Stick your plant in. Do the same with this. These leaves I'm going to leave on. I'm just going to cut them. And these were just the cuttings from the top of the plant. Cut down to the node. Some more rooting hormone. Slide her down there. Now this one is the one that I cut off the tuber that has the piece of tuber on it. I've already cut her. Do some rooting hormone. And then stick her down here. Now the point of sticking these at the side is so that the roots, instead of growing down, they grow over. And the side of the pot stays warmer instead of being like in the middle of the pot. So that's the reason behind doing that. And I think I don't know if I have any more. I think I have another dahlia to cut yet. Okay. I had a couple more cuttings to make up 4 more plants, so I'm going to do the same. Cut those side shoots off. I don't know why I closed up my rooting hormone, but I did. Stick it down to the side. And then what you want to do is keep them watered. I'll water these when I'm done. Now these leaves I'm going to cut because they are big. Cut down at the node. Stick her down in. And then what will happen is you'll know they have roots when you start seeing new growth. So as soon as you start seeing new growth popping up, you'll know that they are rooting out. And then you can repot them all separately into one pot. Now this is all one color, I think. I have the white and the purple dahlia. I do not know the names of them, but they were the ones I've had. I've had them for years. I've stored them for years. I did get a yellow one from my mom, but those up there are still not big enough to cut yet, and I'm going to leave them up in that window. These are all going to, my big ones are all going to go out into my greenhouse. We redid the plastic on our greenhouse. I moved a bunch of seedlings from my back porch out there today, and then I moved the seedlings that were in my grow tent out to my back porch, and then in about a week or so I'll move those out also to my greenhouse. But all my big dahlias will go right out into the greenhouse, and so will these guys. Or I may go ahead and put them in my grow tent because I have room now. So I will probably do that. So I'm just going to water everything in. So if you look at everything that I cut off my dahlias, now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got a possibility of 15 more new plants. So we'll see how it goes. I will keep you guys updated. I'm going to go in and water these guys in and go ahead and get them in my grow tent. So that's all there is to propagating these guys and cutting them back so that they get more branches, and that will give you more flowers on your dahlias. So don't be afraid to do it. I just spotted another one that I need to cut here. So I do this every year and I get a lot of flowers off of the plant. So alright guys, I'm going to let you go and I will talk to you later. Bye. Peace.